welcome to episode 9, Talking Wanderers. Here we are again, Gaz.
Yeah, we certainly are. The weather looks nice outside, and 2 more games left to go to the end of the season, mate. And then we're obviously going to talk about what's going on. But first of all, should we thank our sponsor for this season?
Complete Carpentry and Build. Thanks for all their sponsorship that we've had through this season, sponsoring the podcast and helping us get off the ground. And that's their website there, www.completecarpentryandbuild.co.uk. We thank them. Definitely. And everybody else that's continuing to support us whilst we do this. Right, Gaz, we're safe.
Yeah, unbelievable. We might as well jump straight into last night, shall we?
Yeah.
And I watched it on the stream. I presume you did as well, mate.
Yeah.
And wow. You've got to take your hat off to Dorking Wanderers, the management staff, the players, the volunteers, everybody as a whole club.
Yeah.
That was superb what we done last night.
I mean, last night was getting across that finish line, wasn't it? But it's been a long season. It feels like it's been a long season.
It has been a long season.
And, same. Watching it on the stream last night, and it certainly made me think back to some of the highs and lows of the season where we took some big scalps, and then we had that period where it felt like we were stuck on 30 points for ages. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Around the time we played York, and it was one of the early podcasts we did, wasn't it? When it felt a bit like not doom and gloom, but it felt a bit like
where's the next win going to come?
This is tough. Yeah. This is tough. This division.
Yeah, 100%.
When the big hitting teams were just, who we got Saturday? Wrexham. Who have we got Tuesday? You know, and it's like, Christ, are we got to try and pick up some points along the road somewhere? And we were never knew who was going to play because we had injuries and stuff like that. It was hard, wasn't it? So
definitely.
Last night, it just felt like a huge relief.
Weight off everybody's shoulders.
Yeah.
Everybody, in the club, involved in the club. Mm-hmm. We just weight off. Next season, we're back still in the National League. Obviously, lots of things are going to change, I presume, over the summer.
Yeah.
Mark probably go into that over the next month or whatever. Yeah. And it's onwards and upwards, as they say, mate. And, I think what you just said then about the second part of the season, I think that was a real big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fitness, mental stress or mental fatigue or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think all that came into play, and then result after result after result, we weren't getting a win, and all that combined together. And then you think the last 2 months of this season have just been unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. And just because it's been a while since we've sort of done a bit of a review, and I wrote some of the games down that we've had in that period. Obviously, we went away to Dagenham and Redbridge, didn't we? Picked up a really good 2-0 win there.
I think it was sorry to interrupt you, but I think it was the Easter period that might have started it, really.
Yeah.
When you're looking there, beating Maidenhead 3-1.
Yeah.
And then going to South, and then Southend winning 1-0.
Yeah, the home game,
Yeah, then going to Dagenham, winning 2-0. Obviously, Woking was a little bit of it, but I think that was a free hit.
But it happens, doesn't it? I mean, Woking are where they are in the division. It was a tough game. It was a game of few chances, but it never felt. And I agreed with Mark really when he said it. We were a bit unlucky on the day, because they scored an absolute freak/worldie. You know,
freak,
flew in over Dan. On another day, it's ending up with his fans behind the goal, isn't it?
9 out of 10.
Somebody's getting it out of their garden in the houses, and it went in. But and then they obviously finished the stronger and won that game. But I think what was so good as well was that didn't stop us on that run. Only 2 days later, we went down to Yeovil, didn't we, and picked up another really, really important victory, again, away from home. And all of these things, no coincidence that suddenly we looked so much better away. We weren't conceding anywhere near as many goals either. Then we had last weekend against Altrincham at home, which was another one of them afternoons.
I thought it was going to be about 5-0 at the beginning. 2-0 down at half-time by 7 minutes. I'm thinking to myself, oh my days, this is going to be a 5-0.
It wasn't quite Eastleigh away all over again, but it wasn't far off. It wasn't far off. But I'll tell you, I watched that back, actually, and I don't really know what happened with that second goal. Tony Craig, I guess he was probably due a mistake because he'd been absolutely faultless since he come in.
Yes.
And I tell you what, watching it back as well, I'll tell you what was a good thing about that was that he just let the guy have a run. He didn't try and pull him down. He didn't try and grab hold of him or anything when he was on the floor, and you think, God, if he'd have done that and ended up getting himself sent off as well.
And we missed him for the last 2 games.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't realise the guy that scored that was on loan from Man United.
There's a few there from Man United, there is. Yeah. Oladelli.
But you never do you really, unless you never feel that Dorking are out of the game at 2-0 at home. Either.
Not at home.
No.
Definitely not at home, you don't know. But I was impressed with OSullivan. I like them.
Yeah.
I like the way they play football.
Yeah.
And I like the young lads, like you just said, they've got a lot of lone players. You know, some people don't like that. But he's had to rebuild a team twice. I didn't realise. Yeah. Because I knew he had to rebuild a team once, like in the January time. Yeah. But he had to do it twice. And, you've got to take your hat off to the manager and his team. Because, I enjoyed watching OSullivan. And I thought it was a good game. Yeah. Real good game Saturday. I know we won, but bar that, I thought it was a real
good games between us and them were... There were lots of goals, weren't there?
And they're both entertaining games.
Yeah, and as Mark said as well, they played on the front foot, didn't they, with quite a fast press where they were just going almost like man for man against our back three. Yeah. Like right at the start and forcing us back. And we were playing a sort of style that we're not accustomed to, really. We were having to go direct because they weren't letting us kind of keep it at the back. Yeah. That was another really big win. And then last night, and why do you think we've stayed up then, Gaz? What do you think the reasons are why we've stayed up?
Oh, good question. Wow, that is a great question.
Or how have we sort of turned it around, do you think?
Well, okay, yeah, all right. The reason I believe is one, continuity. Yeah, I think that is such a big factor in football. Yeah, in general, don't matter where you play, down the pub. Premier League, continuity. Yeah. Because Mark did do a lot of changes. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure whether he was trying to keep people happy or what. But he was like last night, he had to do 5 changes. Yeah. For the last 6 games, he hasn't done that. No. And beginning of the season, a lot of changes. But the last 2 months, I think, continuity. Yeah. Injured players coming back, but we haven't had any bad injuries over that period. Yeah, and I think as a team, management and football team, I think we realised that we can still play football. Yeah, but you have to mix it up. Yeah, you've got to mix it up. Yeah, and I tell you what, made me laugh. I was doing a commentary on Saturday, and Mark was behind the barrier, obviously, and he shouted out, "Turn them!" And I went, "What are you talking about? Turn them?" I've never heard Mark ever say that before. Right. Turn them, and I'm not taking the mickey. I agree. Yeah, and that's how I believe we have stayed up.
Them running back at their goal rather than them pressing us in the opposite.
And then
direction.
We press them, and then like we've always said, and it's not rocket science, and everybody knows who's a football person. You first 10 minutes you squeeze the game up or you turn them, and then the game opens up, and then we can start playing our football. Yeah. And that's how I foresee the last third. It have been the last third, do you reckon?
I think you're right. Yeah,
the last third of the season. Definitely. Dorking Wanderers, continuity, no injuries really, and changing it up. Yeah, I don't know what you think.
No, I agree, and I think not just continuity. With the personnel, but players playing in positions that they're accustomed to as well. Yes. And because players were back from injury, he wasn't having to shoehorn people into positions just to fill gaps because other people weren't available to play.
Very good point.
And I think a lot of what you've alluded to there, but I think there has to be some mention for people like Tony Craig, George Frankham. Joe Cook as well has really settled, I think, now.
I like Joe Cook, yeah.
I think he's one of those, he's full-blooded 100% in everything he does. He is happy to go through people, but he's quite happy to bring the ball out from the back as well and look for those diagonal passes. And the more I see him, the more he fits the mould of a Dorking player.
I like him, I must admit.
He's one of those, he'll become a fan's favourite because they'll always see him fighting for the shirt.
Definitely, and like you say, he's comfortable on the ball. Only downside he's too many yellow cards, obviously. I think he knows that. And Mark has spoken about that as well, I think.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing he needs to get out of his game is, know when to tackle, when not to tackle, and when, and that, listen, he's only young.
Yep.
So he's in a learning process. But no, those three definitely, Harry Ottaway.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to put it out there. This is me, and I'm my only opinion, and it's not having a dig at people, but I thought Harry Ottaway, Jimmy Muriet will struggle this season, but they have proved me wrong. And well done to them. Harry Ottaway coming on, he's been a thorn in the foot side.
He has, hasn't he?
He scored 7 goals and he's only made 17 appearances.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's not bad.
No, not in this level at all.
Not at all. And Jimmy Muriet, well, he's causing these fullbacks loads of problems.
Absolute revelation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
To fill that right side void when Briggsy's been injured.
Yes.
And Jimmy's been absolutely brilliant in that position. He's given a lot this season with those assists and stuff. He's probably a bit disappointed he hasn't had a few more goals. But he has come up with some more important goals. He got the one against Altrincham, didn't he, to get us back in the game.
Definitely.
And he's one of those that he gets fans up, doesn't he? When he's on the ball and running at the fullback, you're like, come on, Jimmy, take him on, get a cross in.
Definitely.
And I mean, the cross that he put in for Prior to win that game was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it?
It was a peach, and that's what he wants. And Price starting to score goals as well. He's got like 7 in his last 8 games now, which is, he was struggling when he first came here. So, but no, at the end of the day, it was a great team effort. We've got 2 more games left. We've got, Wilston on Saturday away.
Yep.
I wouldn't say to Mark, they can go and enjoy themselves now, but they can play freely, can't they? They can play freely, and if they can get 6 points out the next 2 games, that will put them up. Yeah,
just that challenge now. Can you win the next 2 games? And let's see where that and where we end up finishing the season.
That'd be 59 points.
We can get something like 15th, 16th.
Yeah,
and that's not just that at the start of the season where you'd say, oh, well, I'll be happy to finish one place out of the relegation.
No,
having that sort of safe, comfortable position in the mid-table. And then looking again at, as somebody said last night, look at some of those teams that are below us now in the league, some of those big hitters that have been in this division for a long time.
Yes.
Some of those big names that have dropped like stones.
Definitely.
Scunthorpe, and Yeovil, who are now going to be, next season, going to be playing regional-based football. National League North, National League South.
Yeah. Well, if all the fixtures go for us, but a lot of fixtures have got to go for us, and we win our next 2 games, we could finish up 11th.
I know.
And, I don't think that will happen, but, Yeah,
because I think goal difference, obviously, if it does get a bit tight, ours is still a little bit of an anomaly in the division. But
and then
it's just such a big relief.
Yeah, and then the final games against Scunthorpe.
Who are down and we stay up. So,
they're down. But hopefully we get a real good crowd. Yeah. I want everyone to turn up. I want everyone. If we can get 3,000 of just Dorking Wanderers supporters, and then just enjoy the occasion. Have a party on the pitch again.
It'll hopefully be a nice evening. 5:30 kick-off. And the people of Dorking can come out and really say, well done.
And we've got to say well done to them.
Well done for staying in this division. Well done, as you said, Gaz, everybody that's been involved this season behind the scenes. Not just the footballing side, but the stadium now, that away end, everything that's changed and developed whilst having to stay in the league as well.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
It's been a huge, huge thing. So
get down there. I say get down there in 2 weeks.
Everybody get down there on that 29th. And it's all tickets, so get your tickets in advance and
get a 3,000 in there.
Absolutely packed Meadowbank.
And have a party on the pitch at the end.
And we're going to speak to the location football guys.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll catch up with them shortly. So our guests for this episode are the guys from Location Football. All right?
How you doing?
How's it going?
Good evening, gents.
Evening. So do you want to introduce yourselves and tell everybody about what you guys do and your YouTube channel and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I'm Curly and this is Scott. We set up Location Football about 2 years ago during the pandemic. Both come from football TV backgrounds, Soccer AM being the main one. We worked together on that for 6 years. 6 years. Scott then went and did a bit of travelling and found himself setting up his own production company. But obviously we've stayed friends. That's the first and foremost thing of it. And then during lockdown, well, we had a few Zoom calls, didn't we? We had a blank bit of paper and put some ideas down. Do you want to go through how it came about?
Well, yeah, like it was at the time when no one was doing anything and everyone was very bored. And we knew that we enjoyed creating content and creating videos and stuff that entertains. And knew that we wanted to create a channel. And obviously, like Curly said, I'd just come back from travelling. So we both had a passion for travel. And obviously we'd worked at Soccer AM together. So had that passion for football as well. So that was where the channel sort of was born from, Location Football, like a culmination of football and travel.
Mm-hmm. We started
as a channel.
It did, because we were going to grounds and there was no football on. Okay. So we just wanted to sort of showcase these clubs. Obviously, the non-league, as you know, had no support, and there's no money. No, even on game days, tickets and stuff like that, they don't make money. Non-league clubs. So we just wanted to try and give a bit back to non-league football. I grew up playing for Cambridge City when I was at college. So I was in the academy up there. My local team's Bishop Stortford, so I've been following them. Not as much when I had worked at Soccer AM, but and Scott supports Hemel Hempstead. So we had a sort of non-league connection.
Yeah.
And then we just reached out to a few clubs and with no real idea of what we were going to do, because obviously there was no football on. Went to these stadiums that are empty, did a bit of a location style video where it was a bit of tongue in cheek, but we were sort of just promoting these clubs. And then it's weird talking about COVID now, isn't it? But as the restrictions got less and less, and there was games on, we started going and sort of creating content around that and just using what we've learned. I mean, we're very fortunate, worked very hard at Soccer AM for over the years to learn a lot about how to create decent, entertaining content, and we thought we could bring a lot of that into non-league football. That don't get me wrong, you've got people that are doing it brilliantly. You got Smith that goes to non-league games, and then you've got Theo Baker's been down to Dorking, and then you've got other lads. But we wanted to create sort of not vlogs. It's not about me and Scott. Our personalities are in there, and we want people to get to connect and get to know us and sort of how much fun. But we're sort of like,
it was about the people, wasn't it?
The people. Okay, that's the main thing. It's what non-league's all about, isn't it? It's the people.
Stories behind these people. And every club has its own character.
Yeah, as you
we really wanted to provide a platform. Not everyone has a mark or a feet, but everyone's got that personality that really embodies the football club, and we wanted to be able to tell those stories because they are interesting and they're entertaining.
So what? So is it a full-time job, or
no,
you do other work as well?
Yeah, so I'm still at Soccer AM, and I've been there for 16 years now. But through my journey at Soccer AM, I've presented content on their stuff. So I do all their YouTube videos now, self-editing, all that sort of stuff. And it goes back to what I was saying, is like I've been at Soccer AM that long that I started as the T-boy. I've then built my way up to now present all their online content. But in the middle of that, I've learned editing. I've been on big shoots with top football clubs, top players, Man City, England, Arsenal. I've been to every training ground you could have mentioned. So I've learned a lot over the years, which is so the beauty of Location Football is that it's a hobby with the great ambition to one day go, we want to build this company and this production that can sort of live and breathe online and support non-league clubs. It could almost be like the Soccer AM of non-league football, but on YouTube. If we make a £5 off a video, we're absolutely buzzing. Our latest one with Dorking's done really well with a bunch of amateurs, and it blew up our channel by tenfold. So we're not full-time, no, but it doesn't feel like a job.
If you want to sponsor us, we're
if anyone wants to sponsor us next season, then absolutely, that'd be brilliant. For us, it's just enjoying about making the content and meeting the people and being included in non-league football. It's just the best atmosphere.
We genuinely love it.
We genuinely love it.
So I was going to say that. So what was that when you started to do that stuff? Did you think, what angle have we got to look at this from? And is it therefore then that non-league angle that we want to approach, because that's where those fan stories and those people stories come from?
Yeah, the level of access as well is brilliant.
You couldn't do it in the Premier League, even Championship or even League Two. I doubt if you would get that close.
Like the Barnet game, we were on the pitch, chatting to the players, chatting to Mark. It's a level of access you're just not going to get at the upper levels.
No. I think as well is like when you look at it as like all the club. I'll use Dorking as an example. All the club needed to do was let us in, and go, and we again, it comes from working in these big clubs and Premier League clubs. We're respectful, even if it's, we're ultra respectful in Dorking and stuff like that. All the games we go, we don't want to step on anyone's toes. If we're in the way, just tell us to get out of the way. But we'll be out. You won't even know we're there.
Yeah.
We're just going to go around, do the things. Are you happy with us to, as the players jog out for their warm up, just to go? In our latest one, we were like, who's going to win the Premier League, Man City or Arsenal? Okay. They're literally there for 5 seconds and they're done and we're out your way. Then we're filming bits. So the access is really important. You wouldn't get, you wouldn't get it at other clubs. And what we create as what we've people, no one's ever gone, we don't like the video that you've made of our club because we're there to make it entertaining. We're not there to stitch it. We're not going to go,
put them on the map, really, aren't you?
Yeah,
We want to highlight the level of football as well. And not that it's a surprise, but the level of football is brilliant. You see it week in, week out.
We find the interesting stories, and we try and sort of highlight that. I mean, we went to a club, Langley, the other week that they're not step 6. They're not even like Ifme and Prem. They're a couple below that. They were bought for the price of McDonald's cheeseburger.
Yeah, watch that one.
So that was so. It's not taking the mick out of the club. It's actually quite interesting because a lot of club the title there is based around the club being bought for £1. That's how the guy messaged me because he reached out to us. And went, where you come? This is the story. This is our story, and we were like, oh, brilliant. Then you look into it a bit closer. They got a manager that played for Arsenal who was in the same team as Cesc Fabregas, Nicolas Bentner, Johan de Juru. So already, and as a really small club, you've got a story that's quite interesting. It's not that one's not. That's not going to blow up the internet. Everyone's necessarily going to go, oh my God, but it's just another episode that's really interesting.
It gets a couple more people to a game.
If it gets a couple more people to a game and their names on the map for a bit and people find out
how many
who they
were
are.
at that game, maybe 20.
There were about 8 people and a dog.
Yeah.
There was that many people.
And we can put it to an audience of a few thousand.
Thousands. So if you're in the area of Langley, you'll know a little bit more about it.
So how does it work? Do clubs contact you or do you reach out to them? And is it...
It's a mixture of the both.
What happens really?
Yeah, it's sort of... We've had loads of clubs message and say, can you come here? Can you come here? And it's really, really nice. And that's what it's nice. It's nice that people want us to come and do that. So they've watched it. And I'm talking not just down the south way, because I'm Essex, you're sort of Crystal Palace way.
Yeah.
People up in York want us to come. Someone from Kidsgrove Athletic, which we did on the pre-season, which was a 3-hour drive for us. South Shields we did.
Oh, I watched your one with Lee Trundle as well. That was
Hammersmith, Wales. That was
so good.
That was so good. So we've had loads of clubs get involved and want to get us to come down. We can't do all of them, obviously, because it's not a full-time job. We are we have to try and get to these places. I will approach a lot of the clubs. Me and Scott we treat it like a proper job. So we'll have a little meeting once a week, and just say what ideas have you got? What stories can we think of?
So we've got the playoffs coming up. So it's
playoffs. So we're going to try and do 2 playoff games in 2 days. So we'll do the Tuesday, Wednesday. Your typical sort of YouTube style
in any video division, or
I think for that you might do. For the end of the season, bigger the better in this sort of one. So National League South, I definitely think because funny enough, I did some filming soccer at Dartford. And Martin Tyler's there. So Martin Tyler is involved at Dartford. So that's an amazing story.
Alan Dowson, doesn't he?
Exactly. Yeah. So I met them and they were like, you come down to the playoffs whenever you want. So that's an easy win because we can. I know the person there. They'll give us all the access.
Yeah. You need the interpreter for
I was going to say that. It's the strongest Geordie accent. He's a great bloke, really nice, really friendly. He was like, come down, and I just
he talks to me sometimes. I go,
People say that about you.
But no, they were really good. So I'll approach predominantly because the soccer M background helps. I'm sure clubs would be welcoming anyway, but it carries a bit of weight, and people know that I'm not there to take the mick out of the club. We're there to produce some quality content that that they can use and share, and hopefully they enjoy it. So it's a mixture, but more me reaching out and then speaking to clubs that way.
Yeah. Would you think about? I know you've got your YouTube channel. Would you do it for a telly show or?
See, that's a good question. We would 100%. And funny enough, I actually. I recently did the Papa John's final for Sky.
Okay.
So I used location football as an example. So I proposed to them. I said, look, this is what I do in non-league. the EFL that Sky represent don't do a lot of online content. There's not much digital stuff going around. They need it, but they haven't got the personnel. 100%. So I sort of went, this is what me and Scott have done. This is what we've done in non-league football. I think I can do something for you if you want it. So they were like, yeah, cool. So they gave me a cameraman because they wanted it done on quite a big scale. So they just gave me a cameraman and said, you got behind-the-scenes access to the Papa John's Trophy final. Show them what you can do. And produced, presented, edited it myself. It hit 55,000 views in 4 days on not even on the Sky main channel, on its Sky Sports Football one, which is 200,000 subscribers, which is a lot of subscribers, but they don't have a lot of regular content. Right. And it's beaten every individual EFL bit of content that they've created by times 5. So we know like what we're doing is good. The idea
what do you think that is then? Is there something? Is it just the way that you've done that then?
I think there's...
What's the kind of reason behind that, I think? Just the way you've done it?
I think it's multiple things. Yeah, I think ultimately the initial idea is good, which is where it starts from, but then it's down to, or in the location football videos, the way Curly edits them is brilliant. The storytelling throughout, so the way that he's able to weave a narrative from this bit. How have we got from Mark White, suddenly Alfie? What's obviously the narrative through the story? I think storytelling and the idea through the title and the thumbnail are probably the 4 key things. I'm sure Rich said the same thing when he came on through Bunch of Amateurs.
Rich, that where you're sitting now, Scott,
the last episode,
he said very similar thing actually about the narrative, and then obviously he does all the narration and everything as well, and he kind of has that in his head as that script that's going over the top of it, but that story that weaves through it, you know. And there's been numerous times where that's happened with Dorking. Just coincidentally, something might have happened at Thursday night's training that he's gone to and filmed in preparation for the game. Like right at the start of the season, Dorking were focusing on Chesterfield, first game, the temperament of the Chesterfield goalkeeper. And 2 days later, when we played him, he left the foot in on Ryan Seeger and got sent off. So that kind of
you can get lucky with a few things,
and he's had a few where that's kind of.
But I'm a firm believer that this sort of thing has legs.
Yeah.
I used to do a little bit for Back of the Net. I don't know if you were then. And I used to say, this sort of thing has got so many miles in it if it's done properly.
Yeah.
You know, non-league football is big.
Yeah.
It's big. I'm not saying it's bigger than the Premier League, but there's a lot of people watch non-league football, and a lot of people do enjoy non-league football because, like you said earlier, it's easy to get to a player, the bar, have a drink after, blah, blah, blah. All that, everybody knows what it's all about. But I really, really believe there's so much can be done, a show, everything. And I looked into many things, but I just thought, I'm a builder. So I'm not that way inclined, you know what I mean? But if I could have a team with me that knew what we're doing, I reckon there'd be so much you could do. I'm really...
I agree. I think non-league football is certainly in the last 3 or 4 years as well has picked up massively. And then you've got people like Ben Foster at Wrexham who's doing couldn't do it behind the scenes. He's got 3 million views now. We can't all do that.
He didn't have it on when they lost against Halifax.
No, I wonder why. There's probably a little rule in there. The footage, it got deleted or something. But I think it'd be great. It's a lot. There's a lot of work that needs to go into it. Like putting a show. We know putting a show together is tough, and it takes a lot of work. But like I say, if you had a team around you that could produce something, and that's something that. Like I say, this is a hobby for us at the minute, but we're full of ideas, and we've gone from how the video started 2 years ago to them changing drastically because we're learning as we go. We every video is a little bit better, or you're not going to have a video that hits 25,000 views every time. But when we're like, I only say like in the last 3 or 4 videos where again we've changed it up a bit because we're now. We had a bit of help, didn't we, on the way? We spoke to quite a consultant YouTuber just because we wanted to learn, not because we're like, we want to be the best. Right. We're just like, what works? And coming from the TV background, I was cutting the videos to a sort of more of a TV sort of style, what I'm used to. So there'd be a bit of dialogue, then there'd be some lovely slow-mo shots of this happening and that happening and that happening. And the guy said, he was like, if I'm a viewer, I can just click off that. Like, if nothing's happening, and it's just a nice, pretty shot, I'm going bored. So whereas you've got to keep it constant. Whereas in TV, you're like, people respect the nice arty shots and all this. So it was like, getting my mind out of doing TV stuff and cutting YouTube videos. And then since we've done that, like again, even then after him, they've changed, changed, and then the ideas have changed, and we're now like.
I guess that's the major difference between TV and YouTube.
Yeah.
Obviously, with TV, you'll make this pilot that might never get seen.
Yeah.
You try and polish it, and you put it out. But YouTube, you put out a video, you see how the audience responds to it. You keep that. You don't like it, you change that.
Yeah,
of course.
And our latest video is a culmination of 3 years of fixing,
Playing around.
and we're like, okay, cool, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
I think another one as well. I've got all these ideas, lads. You know what I mean? You want me to come in with you?
We'll do a channel together, yeah?
A phone-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a phone-in about non-league. Where you been? I went down to Dorking. They won 3-2.
Yeah.
And we have a chat. People can phone in. Obviously, you need something to bleep so they don't swear.
Yeah,
you know
of course.
What I mean? But a non-league phone-in show.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I think that'd be a go.
You did something similar before anyway, didn't you? With a little bit like the Friday night one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've done a little bit with your instant replay, Louis.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've done the Gary Pascoe show. It was called one. That wasn't me doing the name. They said that. That's not been.
Yeah, right.
And then I did an Ifmian show.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was really, really good, but it might not look good.
Right.
But it was just the start, and it just
we saw it.
I saw that. What happened to
it
that?
just fell on his face.
Yeah, because was that with the? Who did you do that with? Was it someone with Leatherhead?
Yeah, Mick Sullivan.
Yeah.
So but you know what I mean. I've got so many ideas.
Yeah,
I think
amazing.
phone-ins. I think that's the winner as well. If you could get a little studio, or don't have to be a studio, it could be here, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And there's people phoning in, telling you where they've been and how they feel about the game, how they feel about the manager.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that would be a goer, but
Yeah. All right, I'll note that one down. Yeah, my new idea for the new
Channel
season.
next
Yeah,
week,
You don't call it the Gary Pascoe.
No. The non-league phoning.
You'll never know.
yeah, normally phone-in.
No, but you're right. There's that. Because you look at Talk Sport and they do that, and they've got people
Works on social,
But I think like
Yeah.
I was chatting to Josh Wright, who plays at Ebbsfleet. They've just got promoted, and we were there. They smashed the National League South.
Yeah.
They'll be with you next season.
Yeah.
But the level of playing, the ability of the footballers from National League and National League South isn't that big, and the gulf between two and National League is like that. It's like a mini League Two National League. So it's like so the fan bases are all growing as well, and it's like you can just see. But like we've been to plenty of non-league National League South clubs, and they're full time. And it's like.
Yeah.
You know, Havant and Waterloo, we sponsored a player down at Havant, Mo Fowl. You may have heard of Mo. He's just unbelievable goal scorer.
When he was at Hendon, when he went Enfield.
Enfield Town,
Off the Bolton.
Bolton, and then didn't quite make it, didn't get the thing. But and that, do you know what? Like that's what I love about non-league is that we because we thought that as a video idea, we've sponsored the most because he was like most prolific goal scorer in the Ifmian. So we've sponsored the most prolific goal scorer in non-league football, and I messaged the club and I was like. I want to, because they offered all the sponsorship up, and I was like, I'd like to sponsor Mo Fowl, but like, how much is it going to cost? How much does it cost me to sponsor a non-league footballer? She was like, no problem, it's £150 for the year. You get this, and this. And we were like, oh, right, yeah, cool, £70 £5 each to sponsor Mo Fowl. We were like, yeah. So we went down there, did a video with Havant and Waterlooville. We spoke to Mo. We're going to go back down there at some point because we rode a signed shirt or something like. Yeah. We did hospitality. Well, we didn't. They invited us in. We didn't go there for hospitality. But that feel factor of being involved and just like that's quality. Brilliant. That's quality. And we're like, and great for us. Mo Fowl just keeps scoring. So every time it goes up on their Instagram page, it's like sponsored by Location Football.
My wife's company sponsors James McShane.
Oh, right.
An absolute blind.
Nice. Yeah, it's quality, isn't it?
Top scorer.
Yeah. Is he still there now?
I'd be surprised if he's. I mean, they've dropped off massively because they were playoffs, and then a few things happened with the gaffer, and they just dropped. They've just plummeted. But I think. I mean, if you need a striker next season, I'd take a punt on Mo Fowl. It wouldn't even be a punt.
What about? Do you find it hard for sponsors getting sponsors for yourselves?
We've never had one.
Yeah,
we've never had one.
You don't have one.
No. So, like I say, if there's anyone out there that wants to get in touch and sponsor us, then
wow.
Yeah, it's a. I haven't really thought about it, have we?
Yeah, like I say, it has been a passion project up until now. It wasn't like we're not looking to make cash. Obviously, we've got our jobs as well, but.
I mean, that's something that love to do. And we've had like we did collaborations, didn't we? We did one with Fanbase, who the ticketing company. They got in touch. It's got to be like all these things. It's got to sort of make sense. Like wouldn't be anything like. Yeah, like the Fanbase thing was because they were at Dulwich as well. It's like an online thing. Tickets, so that all made sense. We did that at Bedfont Sports, didn't we?
Yeah, but I think that's the only one.
I guess if it can grow like it's growing, and then we can have a discussion with people and say like where we can get involved and stuff. But
because I'm sure you had the same conversation with Rich, because I know he's looking for sponsors at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, and the club are always looking for sponsorship in various different ways.
And that's so important in non-league.
Parts of the ground,
as a whole,
stands, and things like that. That's how so much of Dorking has been. So much of Dorking has been boosted by that over the years, by local sponsors. Just getting on the phone to local companies and saying, look, this club exists. We used to play just down the road there. Would you want to sponsor us? Put a board up or put something up around the ground with your name on it.
And the bunch of amateurs helped with that, didn't it? Like, because Mark said when we spoke to him in our video, he was like, we've earned some serious dough from the fact that we've got this. So it's like, it all goes hand in hand. It's like, I don't feel like everyone's just, I think as well with YouTube, I think everyone's sort of everyone will try and help each other out in certain things. Like Rich could have turned around and went, no, you're right, lad, you don't right. But sort of knows the value in that us making a video, which is going to cost him absolutely nothing, because obviously we know Dorking and everyone down there, we know everyone, how friendly everyone is. Just all that's cost is just access. And we've created this thing, and it's gained 22,000 views, which is 22,000 more eyes on Dorking and bunch of amateurs, and it's like I'd love it if someone went, we're going to make a video on location football, and they're like, come follow us.
And that's what Richard always says to these clubs are a little bit negative towards. Look at how much your club is going to be put into the spotlight. It's not a negative thing. We don't come there and ridicule your club. We come there and show you in a positive light. But we may sort of talk about you a little bit if you don't do that. Various clubs have been spoken about. Haven't been quite so friendly and accommodating, and if you can get that and things like that, then you can kind of just piggyback onto that.
And that's how everything grows. That's how non-league football grows.
Like lots of things, isn't it? It's like networks and connections and things like that.
And if non-league clubs like can't have the facilities to do their own stuff, then if there's people that are going, oh my god, this guy's going to come do a documentary, and like as long as we've all got our ducks in order and we're not arseholes about it, we'll come out of this looking all right. Like it's just, and that's that's the way it's all going. And even in my personal job, it's like that's where it's all going. It's all going towards this digital platform where it's easy access content, like more behind the scenes. Everyone can see what's going on, and you can see what the gaffers are. You can see what the players are. They're in the tunnel, because you don't get that in the Premier League Championship. You don't get that. So the more accessible these clubs are, they'll realise and go, oh, we're hitting a different audience. Look at hashtag, look. They're like, do you know what I mean?
That's the beauty of non-league, isn't it? A couple of things then. So, give us some names of some of the people that you met through non-league football then. So the Lee Trundle one was brilliant because he was an absolute icon, wasn't he? He was like on Showboat on Soccer every week and stuff.
So Lee Trundle, so I know Lee through him coming on Soccer over the years, and he's such a great bloke. And so that was a great trip, just going down there on a what was that, pre-season game, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I've actually been invited back down there actually, and I think he's still playing. And Leon Britton was there at the time as well.
Kevin Phillips
at South Shields, he's the gaffer there. So he again very welcome. Their stadium's outrageous. I mean they're full time, and they've just been promoted to the National League North. So they had a budget, and they get some players in there full time. Barry Hales was at Merston. He was there. He was still playing. He was still. I think he was on the bench as well, I think.
Yeah, he played quite a lot. Yeah, quite a lot of time.
He was coming on. Who else have we been? Where have we been with these people? We're Worthing, down at Worthing. We did them and followed Jasper Patton, obviously I mentioned earlier that he went to Wickham. Yeah. And that's what we quite like about it as well, is that you meet these players and then you have an invested interest. And as soon as I saw Jasper been signed by Wickham, I dropped him a text and I was like, mate, or Twitter or whatever, and just like, mate, buzzing for you. Thanks so much. And then I actually went and filmed Soccer M at Wickham, and he was there in his kit, and I was like, sick, man, that's sick. So it's like following the stories. of these youngsters. There was another, Connor Parsons was one. We travelled all the way to, oh my God, it's the most easterly football club in the United Kingdom. And it's bloody miles away. And he wasn't even playing, he played there, didn't he?
Yeah, that was when it was
he was played there,
still,
it was
wasn't
lockdown.
it?
We went there during lockdown, he did a video for us. We went to Cork, didn't we? Cork
City, yeah.
Okay,
That was cool.
Yeah, the press officer there was really nice. That was they played Stoke that day, and they let us go everywhere, like up in the gantry, up in the commentary bits, in the tunnel as the teams coming out. Everything that we want to do is great. There's probably loads.
Where's the best food then?
Oh, that's on you.
Yeah,
that's on
Scott.
That's
what I was watching.
He does love a little.
So I was watching on the Dulwich one when you tried the food and then you spoke to the player who said, "Have you tried?"
Yeah.
Just tried it just now.
The ball pit beast.
The ball pit. That's
Hunger food. Yeah, we went there last season. Mark paid for us all to have that. The ball pit deal when we went there. The Dorking fans who paid for us to have something to eat.
Tilbury had like an eat. Tilbury with the Eat Street one as well.
Yes. That was Farnborough. No, not Farnborough.
No, Tilbury was known for. What's great is like all these. We started doing that before Footy Scran started doing their thing. Not that we were like it was a genius idea or anything. But this is a lot simpler and a lot easier.
Yeah.
But like Scott loves his food and just loves non-league burgers and stuff. So it's amazing how many. The Met Police now use the Met Police. What about?
I'm a weekly advert for the Met Police.
Right. So the Met Police, whenever they go, they go, come down to the Met Police because we've got this, and we've got this, which has been recommended by Scott at Location Football. And when we went to Havant and Waterlooville, if you ever go to Havant and Waterlooville, on their burger board is a picture of Scott going like this. They used it, and I forgot about that.
They put my quote.
They put his because it gives 3 words, which are coming up with 3 words every week is mad. But we try. No. But you'll always offer up the third one.
Cold,
Yeah. We don't. We don't.
Never say it's rubbish.
We never say it's rubbish.
We never had a rubbish. There's levels, but
that's
the beauty of a burger.
But seeing your face at having a Waterlooville,
that's the pinnacle.
That's the pinnacle
so far.
Our season.
So no, it only happened.
Kits. Who's got the best non-league kit?
Non-league kit.
Was the David Bowie one at Bromley recently?
So that was really cool. Bromley reached out to us and said, we're doing a kit launch of our David Bowie kit. Can you come do something on that? So we were like, that was really cool.
There's a lot of good ones.
I watched that.
At Langley, our most recent video, their away kit was
this was like Atletico Madrid. But then, so it wasn't just because they went, we like Atletico Madrid. It was like the owner had been to Spain and got drunk with a load of Atletico Madrid fans and was like, I really like your kit. And then they came back and he was like, here we go. That's non-league, isn't it? Imagine that being in a meeting in the Premier League and go, what happened? Well, I just got really drunk and I thought of this. But it's non-league, it's like, that is a genius idea.
I liked OSullivan away kit last week. I know no one sponsored it, but it was like a nice yellow sash.
Yeah,
it was really.
It was nice blue, wasn't it? Yeah,
navy
their
blue.
away kit.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Because they wear red and white as well.
Kits. You do love a good
You were doing a feeture on kits as well.
Yes.
We'll feature the kit.
We'll always feature the kit. Again, it was this part of the learning process. It was like I was given my thoughts on the kit, and then I was looking at it and going, not that I don't care, but it's like I don't actually know anything about kits in terms of what. Rather than me going, this is it. We got the players. I still talk about it in more research, but it's like like Sky Sports when the players all come out and there's someone like they're all just warming up. So I just go around my camera and get all these arty shots of them looking nice like that. And I go, and there's their shorts, and everybody going, what the hell is this?
It's always just before kickoff.
It's just before kickoff as well. That's what you sort of lead me to that, and I just sort of go with it because I'm used to just being in like different environments of like Premier League where I just like you just have to just do it. And then so like that. So I come out of the tunnel like that, and I go.
See him in the team huddle.
Get right amongst it, get in the team huddle, and I'm going to put that in there. We nearly did it at Ebbsfleet at the end of the game, but a lot had gone on in that game. I don't know if you're aware of what happened in that game, but they had the big tunnel, they had the big huddle at the end, and I was getting the camera around, and the gaffer just looked at me like that, and I thought, I'm not going to come any closer. But yeah, so we just adapt. So the kits, in Ebbsfleet, we were in the kit room, weren't we, with all the kits, the away kits, the home kits, the 20 tumble dries that they had going. But do love a good kit. We get
Dulwich.
Dulwich, Dulwich is really nice.
Our yellow kit's horrible. Our away
It's
kit.
going, isn't it? It's going.
It's a jinx.
What would you have? What would you like instead, or has it been decided already?
Got new kits for next
Yeah,
season
got
already.
nice kits there.
Yeah.
Right,
I would want a sash.
Same the home.
You like the
sash?
The white away is now just white with a sort of like a sash down here, like the old Crystal Palace.
Okay.
Kit.
Oh yeah.
And then the third kit is a orange one, like the
Yeah, I don't
Dutch
know why
team.
they've got an orange.
Like the Dutch team.
Dude, you had a vibrant yellow one. Like, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, the green.
Yeah, that one.
Was that last year? Yeah, when we went to Dorking the first time, you had
Yeah, we had
you had the red and white, and then you had a really
And then
bright
this season, it's not as vibrant and it's awful. Hopefully,
Right.
it's been burnt. And
We kept
because
losing.
we losing
We
it.
kept losing.
We lost it.
Even the
It was like,
players said we don't
"Mate,
want to wear this
kit,
anymore.
I don't want to wear it
Honestly,
anymore.
don't wear it
Really?
anymore.
The unlucky
And in the end, they started changing, like putting different socks and shorts with it, just to try and mix it up a bit. You know what I mean?
Didn't work.
Wow.
Didn't work.
Wow.
We did have a message come in from somebody that is kind of he supports Dorking. He lives in America though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we were so that international market now with non-league.
Yeah.
So do you get any analytics in terms of where your views come
The
from?
funny
and things
thing
like
you say
and
that-
how that because obviously in the forefront of everyone's minds are things like Wrexham, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, that market out in America and Canada as well is absolutely flooded by that now.
Yeah.
But for a club like Dorking, we've got a couple of American investors now,
Wow.
and not on anywhere near the same scale as that.
Not Hollywood
we we do have one person in particular that tweets us and emails us, certainly Rob, who watches out in America.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the fact that international, like non-league now, with fans all over the world.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's why I think when you asked the question about whether we'd want to go to TV, like I just love YouTube because of that accessibility.
Yeah.
Could we get the same amount of viewership for a TV show that can only be watched in England? I don't think so. And obviously, I went travelling, as Kel's mentioned, after I left Sky and visited various countries and made friendships in those countries. And I talked to them about what I did for my job, and none of them could actually watch the stuff that I made. Whereas now that I work within YouTube, like in every corner of the world, there's that accessibility. And it just opens up the world a lot more.
Well, just saying that, like, you got an American follower from there. We had a message. I don't know if you saw it, because I replied. Everyone that messages us, which we're really grateful for. I've replied to everyone just because obviously they're taking time out to watch it. And I had a message literally 2 days ago, I think it was. And it was just again saying, I just watched the video for the first time, absolutely loved it. All the best, thanks, Craig, Australia. So I was like, mate, that's wicked. And then we've had a few, like, I think there's if you look at the percentages, there's some in the States. I think there's a few. I think there's, I'm talking minimal percentage.
Yeah,
I've got a regular friend who I've never actually met in the Philippines. In the Philippines,
wow.
never met. Yeah, I don't think I did anyway. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Thailand, but no, he's actually like a graphic designer. Like, he's legit. He's a real person. I checked, and actually Louis knows him. Louis knows him from Yours Instant Replay randomly. But he messages me like right at the beginning as well. He's like, I love your content. I'm sharing it out here in the Philippines. So like Scott was saying, it's like the reach you can get. And what we'd love to do, if financially able to, is to go to other countries and go and see what's non-league like in Spain, what's non-league like in Holland. But like to do that, we will do, in the summer we'll do a bit of planning and go and see these places, because people go like, you could easily fall into the YouTube trap and going, I'm going to go to the Dortmund derby, I'm going to go to Spain, go around it. It's like, and I'll be honest with you, I couldn't give a monkeys about going to those games. So I'd be cheating myself and going, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So why would I expect people to watch? I can make it. Don't get me wrong. We could make a brilliant video and we could do that, but I'm not that invested in it. Whereas going to that ground in Holland that's got the train track where the train goes through the park every now and again. I was like, I want to go there because that's quality. So looking at branching out to different countries would be something to be absolutely brilliant. I'm sure if we got the time to do it, what we'd love it, like, obviously Scott's got a production company as well and whatever. If you could have a year, if money wasn't and I'm not saying I want to make loads of money, but if money was, and you could just go, right, I'm going to pop to these different places and do it. I feel like I agree with you. It's like it's growing and there's a place for it and everyone enjoys it. So yeah, that would be the dream.
I tell you what, I was disappointed when Periscope shut down. I don't know the reason why. I don't know. I'm not that knowledgeable on it, but when I used to do my commentary, Periscope used to get everybody. Like some blokes I'm watching, I'm listening in Miami. by the pool, and I'm doing this, doing that, and as well. And it was just wow, you're out there in a big wide world.
Yeah.
And people are taking time to listen to you. You know, I'm not mine, Tyler. I'm Gary Pascoe. You know what I mean? And,
Of the Gary Pascoe show.
So, you know what I mean? I'm everything. But they take the time to listen. And you think, wow, thank you very much. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. You like, when we had our first 1,000 view video, we're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then when you hit 22,000 on a video and you've only got 3,500 subscribers, whatever, you're trying to grow it, our thing grew by we had like 500 extra subscribers in about a week. And it was just going, dick, 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 dick. And you're like, oh my God, it's not stopping. And we're like, oh, this is amazing. And it's not like an egotistical thing. It's not like anything like, you're just like, that's when you like YouTube as well, when you're doing something on your own, like, or with a friend, you know, like we're doing it together, like there was nothing. There was nothing. There's like nothing on the table. And then fast forward 2 years, we're doing this and we're doing this. And then people want to get invested in, you know, I went to a five-a-side game and the guy was going, oh, wait, let's go on location football. And I'm like, all right, oh, sweet. It's a thing. Oh, that is an actual, that's an actual thing that we do. So like, and that non-league community is so big. That even if you're not a Bishop Stortford fan, we want to create a video that you'd want to watch it anyway, just because it's, they're in our league. Well, we might be going there.
And the amount of players that you've seen, or we've seen from at other teams that we've seen like 2 seasons previously, have jumped up. It's
well, that's what we've realised this season as well, isn't it? Being in the national.
I know you,
Like my own personal Twitter account, I've got loads more followers, and I've been asked to go on podcasts from clubs all over the country. Because we're at that level where that's why one of the reasons why we set this one up, because we didn't have one, but loads of other teams did. And it's all kind of like a friendly thing as well. It's
people respect that. People respect the hustle as it is.
Thing, people we've got a shared, a mixed fan zone at Meadowbank. You know, so there's fans from both clubs outside having a drink before the game, and things like that. And it's just nice. It's a nice level of football whereby everybody just gets on with one another. There's no real rivalries, certainly for us anyway. There are with some of the other teams like Woking and Aldershot and things like that, but for us, we just kind of gone through the season making friends really.
It's just unbelievable.
Fans from other clubs.
People come out, I say, I'm Gary Pascoe. Oh yeah, we know. And I think, why would you know? Why would you know? Why would you know?
Gary Pascoe show.
You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
I was on Soccer AM when Josh Gallagher done the pirouette.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that was Gary. Remember when he said that clip? He's done a pirouette on the pitch.
That was unbelievable. I was in the Surrey Herald newspaper. The Sydney Herald. The Sydney Herald.
Wow.
But they're media, not the, what's it called? Like they're on
website.
Not in the paper, just online. And I'm thinking, wow. Josh Gallagher's done that. I said pirouette wrong as well. I mucked that up. So that went down well as well. And it came on there, and mate who plays Jeff. He was doing that. He goes, "What, Gary Pascoe? Let's see what he has to say." And it came up, and I thought, wow.
That's cool, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
It's funny how it travels. That's that sort of stuff.
Mate, I think it's over 3 million watched that in the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Crazy, isn't it?
It is.
But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. You can have a clip. We're never going out trying to get those clickbaity, funny things. But we went to we have a TikToker thing as well that we're not really. We put bits on it. Obviously, I know like Dorking do it and a bunch of amateurs do it.
Yeah.
Rich does it really well, but. We've had clips on there that we did one with Big G, who's a goalkeeper that comes on Soccer M every now. He's a bit of a pantomime villain. He's a big lad, 6'6" Ugandan. He called himself, and he was. We were at a game with him. That was the story. I was going down to see him. We did it. You were trying to be a goalkeeper, weren't you? So before a game, Big G was teaching him how to be a goalie. We're doing these challenges, part of our video, and you're terrible in goal. You failed it. But anyway, so we're on the pitch doing all this stuff, and then. He's a real great character. But he's having the referee's doing his bit. Right, lads, I don't want no argy-bargy this, and it was really good. I was just filming it, blah 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 blah. And then out of nowhere, Big G just goes, "I've been waiting to face someone like you, mate. Captains v captains." And I was like, "What is going on here?" But I was like, "That's good." I'm just gonna tell you what. I'm just gonna try and I'm gonna click that up on its own. It'll be in the video, but I'll click it up on its own and see what it does on TikTok. 800,000 views and it's like, but that's what you can create on YouTube. Like with our videos, you'll have like a 15-minute video and there might be loads of little sections of it that can go on different platforms. And that's how you sort of grow it. It's like that's the beauty and that's the fun part of it. It's like a game. Like you're trying to grow it. You'll have some that are duds that are just don't. You think, oh, that'll do really well. You know,
but they're all learning. But we learn something from everything. Yeah.
Right.
So what's
I think we're going to do that one. So Steve Chandler sent in a question about League Two budgets, compete with that, and that's the norm. I think we're going to save that. I think we can do that towards the end of the season.
Okay.
Because what I'd like to do is kind of end it on that note. These guys,
No problem.
I can sense and I can feel your passion not only for non-league football, but for the capturing of it and everything as well coming out now. And I have to say how grateful we are for you guys coming on here tonight as well.
Honestly, it's our pleasure. Anytime,
really appreciate it.
Your club's a fantastic example of what non-league football is all about. Like say the community, like say the mix zone, everyone's there together. The gaffer, one of probably the most famous non-league manager through whatever way.
Maybe just manager.
Manager is a great personality. And again, it's a great advocate of the league. And then the clubs that don't do that will soon not get left behind, but they will. And it's Dorking's a fantastic football club, and they've been really good to us. We've been twice now, and thoroughly enjoyed it. So I look forward to seeing you still in the National League.
Exactly.
So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
And can we shout out Danny Bookham, Danny Aldridge?
Danny Aldridge.
He always looks after us when we go there. So
he's quality.
Danny.
Yeah, he's really helped us out.
Yeah.
Great bloke.
But thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks very much. And hopefully you can come back down next year.
Absolutely. If you'll have us.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Talking Wanderers is proudly sponsored by Complete Carpentry and Build. Visit www.completecarpentryandbuild.co.uk. Check out their website.